benediction, and on Zoom to stay for a bit of an after-service chat. For all of you of all ages, we acknowledge that not everyone participates in worship in the same way, so you're welcome to move or stand or sit on the floor or whatever works for you. Jessica Friesen is our music director, and today Wendy Stevens is also contributing her music. Marie-Claude Leroux is our director of religious exploration. And during the service today, the chat function on Zoom will be open, and I invite you to extend your hospitality to anyone you may not know who's joined us online. If you're not already receiving notifications from our church and would like to hear about our activities and services, please send an email to minister@uuch.ca. This morning we've switched the order of a couple of things, so I'll now do our announcements. I know there's a humanist meeting today at noon, I think in the office, the church office, yes. And also next Sunday, we will be welcoming 4 new members, so don't miss that service. Etta Ham is back in the newsletter business, so our newsletter deadline is this next Tuesday, the 25th, for the May newsletter. And for all you early rising royalists, there will be a coronation tea at 6:30 a.m. on May the 6th at Pam Berman's house in Dartmouth to watch the coronation of King Charles III. And now we will take our offering, which today goes to support the Saturday brunch, which a dedicated team of church volunteers prepares and serves each week to people in our neighborhood. Anyone is welcome to come and help. Since the offering is earlier in the service this morning, you're welcome to actually take one of the envelopes to put your contributions in and drop it in the bowl later in the service if you wish. The bowls will be back on the mantelpiece. Or you can send an e-transfer to treasurer@uuch.ca. And please be sure to note on the envelope or in your e-transfer message that it is for the Saturday brunch. Next Sunday, we will be doing a special collection for our defibrillator, so we encourage you all to consider donating to that as well. Thank you.
Just to add, it costs about $1,800. The price of it is about $1,800, a bit more with tax, and you're welcome to send an e-transfer between now and next.
Marilyn will generously accept all funds for the defibrillator. For those of you who don't realize, most of us donate our funds to the church through an annual pledge. So we probably won't be putting in regular donations into the bowl. But for some purposes, such as collecting for a new defibrillator, that's not in our regular budget. So we are encouraging people to donate for that next week in particular. Now, before moving into the main part of our service, Eleanor will acknowledge our place in this land and time on Zoom.
Good morning. Olivia, my student friend from Manitoba, who is at Dalhousie University, says she's very happy living and learning in Macmoggy. Yesterday, I attended the People's Parade for Life on Earth at the Peace and Friendship Park. I expected to see more support, but it was good to be there. In Nova Scotia, we need to step up our game if we want to support our young people with this climate emergency. We are, for example, seeing Nova Scotia Power buying coal from the Donkin coal mine. At Harlan's Point near Halifax, the Department of Defense is building a $64 million facility to test missiles. Many wild species use this place on their route north. Serious environment disruptions, one of many here in Nova Scotia. Do we hear about these things? No, we do not. Yesterday, Friday at 5:30 a.m., I listened to CBC. The program was called Good News. Two women started this movement, which has become worldwide, because they were fed up with all the dire news in this wonderful world. Listening to them speak gave me hope, and that's what we all need, hope. Margaret Mead, the great anthropologist, said, "Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens change the world. In fact, it is the only thing that ever has." And I wish us many blessings today. Thank you.
Thank you, Eleanor. Now let's sing our gathering song on the order of service. Please rise as you're able. We are here together in this holy moment, and we're grateful for the winding road that brought us to this place. We are here together in this holy moment, and we're grateful for the winding road that brought us to this place. Let us now move into this, our sacred space of our service. I'll light the symbol of our UU faith, our chalice. We hallow this time together by kindling the lamp of our faith, our heritage, and our hope. Now, a reading for the spirit of this wonderful time of year. Need another hand.
How hold your microphone? I have a microphone person today.
In Time of Silver Rain by Langston Hughes. In time of silver rain, the earth puts forth new life again. Green grasses grow and flowers lift their heads, and over all the plain the wonder spreads of life, of life, of life. In time of silver rain, the butterflies lift silken wings to catch a rainbow cry, and trees put forth new leaves to sing in joy beneath the sky, when spring and life are new. Marie-Claude will now share something of that big event yesterday.
Good morning, everyone. I hope you enjoyed Earth Day yesterday. Thanks to the climate crisis team, members of UUCH and their friends took part in the People's Parade for Life on Earth on the Halifax waterfront yesterday afternoon. So I'll be sharing some photos, most of which were taken on social media, and a few by myself. It was a joyful community parade to celebrate Mother Earth, to celebrate water, which is life, and to celebrate our beautiful communities and our continued resistance for love, justice, and life on this planet. We were a crowd of elders and youth, drummers and artists, students and activists, puppets and costumes, and in our case, just folks with costumes, representing the more than human world. The parade opened in ceremony with the Mi'kmaq water walkers, led by Doreen Bernard, who shared with us a beautiful way to have our own personal water ceremony every morning at home on waking. And I will sum it up very quickly, that by having a glass of water by your bed, and when you wake, to honor that water, intentionally thanking it and offering it love and respect. It was a beautiful sunny day, and we're grateful to have been joined by many at UUCH. Unfortunately, I didn't get that many photos. A few of our RE families came out for the occasion, dressed up as elements of the interconnected web of all existence. I'll say what we see here. Danielle Sonia in the front with her dogs is a deer. Destiny to the far left is a turtle. Jason is a frog. Abigail was a beekeeper and a bee and a flower field. Tristan didn't quite finish for the photo, it turns out, but was a blade of grass. You'll see him in future photos. You'll see the game will be spot the blade of grass in future photos. And then Kyla had some flowers on her face. And Sabine and Tracy Boyer joined us as well and had some fox headpieces. Again, I didn't get all the photos, but those are a few. So we were representing the interconnected web of life by being animals and blades of grass and connected during our float as we walked through. And of course, I didn't get a photo, but Margaret Galbraith was there, who led the UUCH involvement, and she came dressed up as the entire ocean. Alan and Leslie, Molly and Lars, Glenda and Leslie and Margaret came all the way up from Yarmouth. So it was great to see folks there together. And Amy was there. She was there with another group, but she was there, and it was great to see her as well. And see if you can spot the blade of grass. So there were some incredibly creative costumes, dancing larger than life, like marionettes. There was some great drumming beats and even a stilt walker. There was even a post-parade festival to continue the spirit of celebration at the Peace and Friendship Park. The event wrapped up with a round dance. I don't know if any here who were at the parade saw that. It was beautiful. It's a special traditional event in First Nations culture that brings people together to heal, to honor, and to celebrate life. It was a perfect way to end a parade for all of our relations. Hopefully, this will be an annual event, and it is what we honor, celebrate, and cherish that we work to protect. So it was a beautiful day. Thank you.
Thank you, Marie-Claude. Thank you, Marie-Claude. It was great. And those of us who are a bit more sunburned than we were earlier yesterday, we were there for the afternoon. In further celebration of the earth, and in spite of the fact that we sang it last Sunday, let's sing again, Blue Boat Home. It's number 1024 in the Teal Hymnal, and please stand if you're comfortable. Sorry, 1064.
Okay. Whoops, forgot to start my music. Low below me, I feel no motion, standing on these mountains and plains, far away from the rolling ocean. Still my dry land heart can say, I've been sailing all my life now, never harbor
Thank you, Wendy. Let's move deeper now into our sacred space. We bring our hearts into this community and we open them up to each other. This, our communal well, holds all of our stories. It is the place we come to be held and loved. The water is a reminder of our connection to each other and to all life. So we invite you to come forward and drop a stone into our well of community to mark your story, be it a joy or a sorrow, a complex truth from your heart, or in silence, to remind you that you are not alone. Please keep your comments brief. And for those of you on Zoom, you can type a comment into the chat, and Riley will read them out to the group. Thank you.
I can't take this off because I tore my rotator cuff. so, so that's a bad one. But today would be my mother's 99th birthday. And this is the second year she hasn't been here. So I miss her.
Well, I'm happy to say that my friend Jimmy got through his surgery with some ups and downs, and he's starting to feel better.
Great.
I know we're celebrating Earth Day this weekend, but I do have to remind you that this is also a special day for another reason. April 23rd is St. George's Day. St. George is a patron saint of England, my birthplace.
I was like, who's St. George?
I have, I guess, a couple joys to share. I went to the craft fair yesterday and got these really cool tights. But they have, and there's a different pattern up top, but it kind of relates to the second joy that I'm going to have to continue to wear tights because I'm having a baby in October. So you'll see the evolution week after week.
Congratulations. And that on a joyful note, we will close our time for complex truths. A moment of silent reflection as we sit in community.
It's too close, a little too close. Some of them were dreamers. Some of them were fools who were making plans and thinking of the future with the energy of the innocent. They were gathering the tools they would need to make their journey back to nature. And while the sand slipped through the opening and their hands reached for the golden ring, with their hearts they turned to each other's hearts for refuge in the troubled years that came before the deluge. Some of them knew pleasure, some of them knew pain, and for some of them it was only the moment that mattered. And on the brave and crazy wings of youth, they went flying around in the rain, and their feathers, once so fine, grew torn and tattered. And in the end they traded their tired wings for the resignation that living brings, and exchanged love's bright and fragile glow for the glitter and the rouge. And in the moment they were swept before the deluge. Now let the music keep our spirits high. Let the buildings keep our children dry. Let creation reveal its secrets by and by and by. When the light that's lost within us reaches the sky. Some of them were angry at the way the earth was abused by the men who learned how to forge her beauty into power. And they struggled to protect her from them, only to be confused by the magnitude of her fury in the final hour. And when the sand was gone and the time arrived, in the naked dawn only a few survived. And in attempts to understand a thing so simple and so huge, believed that they were meant to live after the deluge. Now let the music keep our spirits high. Let the buildings keep our children dry. Let creation reveal its secrets by and by and by. When the light that's lost within us reaches the sky. When the light that's lost within us reaches the sky.
Thank you, Wendy. That was a song written by Jackson Browne in the mid-70s, still relevant today. Leslie from our climate crisis team will come forward now. He's also from Yarmouth, so it's great to have him in person here today. He will now explain the next part of our service.
You're all familiar, I think, with having sharing groups here. I've always done it on Zoom so far, so I don't really know what happens here when you do that, but I assume everybody knows you kind of organize yourselves somehow into. How many groups are we going to have in church here? 4? We have 4. 4. We have 4 facilitators, and we have 4 groups here, and we have 2 facilitators online on Zoom. So depending on how many people are there on Zoom, you can arrange yourself there as well. What's this all about today? Well, you may have noticed in the newsletter that the question today is just one question. It's a very simple question, but it's very deceptive as well. How do you feel about the climate crisis? So it's a very personal question. It's about you and what you feel. And that's quite difficult for some people. As some say, especially men have difficulty recognizing their feelings and certainly talking about their feelings. I don't know if that's universally true, but some people can easily talk about their feelings and other people cannot. And so if you prefer to be silent and just listen in the group, that's fine too. It's important for us to be listening to each other and to recognize that people will have different reactions to this challenging topic. And this is what we understand. There will be different reactions, and they're all good. You are the only one who can say what you're feeling. Nobody else can tell you what you should be feeling, or that you're wrong. Your feelings are your feelings. And that's what we challenge you to talk about, if you'd like, today. We want to make sure that everyone has the opportunity to talk. So we're only going to have, I think, 20 minutes for sharing today. So if we have 5 or 6 people in a group, we have to make sure that we allow time for everybody to have their turn. And Riley's going to time us for the 20 minutes. That's going to give us a 5-minute warning and a 1-minute final warning for coming back together, because we'd like to hear from each group. They're going to report back, so you will get to hear what the other groups have been saying, what the other individuals have been saying, but no names are going to be shared. You may be curious to know what other people feel, but you'll have to ask them yourself if you want to know. And they may tell you, they may not. Have we all set? We're ready to go into groups? 20 minutes, I think we're going to go with. And so I'll just watch and see what happens, how you do it here, and I'll join in. Thank you.
So in this room, the facilitators will be Wendy and Leslie and myself, and Marilyn has also volunteered as well. So if you can get yourselves into groups, one group could go out in the ballroom and have 3 groups in here of about 4 or 5 people. And online, Riley is going to split you into 2 breakout rooms, I believe. Yes. Okay.
Do you make a group here? Okay. Yeah. We make a group here?
We could have another person over.
You are, okay, sorry. You got two facilities in the same room. That's not gonna work. You've got 5 people there. The name is not important, but it's all D. The name is all D. D-L-D-W-E.
Yeah, it's definitely like overwhelming.
I remember you very well.
Saying about, you know, how
Are you not a
makes me so
musician?
frustrated when people here in like Canada or, you know, like more
Are you not
countries are like, oh, you know,
a
like
musician?
not really breaking us that much, but like people in the global south are already being displaced en masse. Like natural disasters that are like entirely unprecedented are happening at like such an immense scale. But because it's like not happening to like us personally necessarily, so many people are like, oh, it's like gonna be fine. It's like it's already not, it's already very not fine. You know, it's only gonna get worse. But and I know a lot of people kind of feel like, oh well, like it's gonna get worse, but not now. But in so many parts of the world, it already is like,
In the faculty
so that
of
makes me, yeah, like how can we help on a global scale? Like it's hard. But I really, really, truly believe in like building community resilience and how that can kind of have like a ripple effect to like go them further. So yeah, definitely like. So I get hope from that because anytime I see like community coming together, I feel like to me that's the beautiful thing. Like the yeah, overall aspect probably. Like I definitely feel like
interesting.
overwhelmed by
Today we're going to talk about the climate.
like a bit hopeless.
Yeah.
Very frustrated, very angry. Like just about all the things that because I mean scientists are predicting, well not even predicting, but like indicating that okay, things are heating up literally the 1800s. And we're like pretty much every decade they've been like, okay, like this is happening. Like that's not like saying it's 50 years old. That's the thing, yeah. And it's just like yeah. And when you know when scientists are saying like we've tried everything, like nobody listens. It's just like it's just like how can people not listen to like yeah. They're overwhelming all around.
How do you feel about this?
I don't feel very hopeful.
No, how do you feel about the whole situation?
How my life was on, I don't think it's possible to
In bad shape, right? How do you feel
not
about
this
You feel bad.
it was too hard, but it was so nicely. And I hope it does deteriorate.
I'm sure that's the intention.
librarians are at like the front lines of like fighting this like anti-intellectualism, which is like obviously the opposite of what we need right now.
It's a bad thing because then people have questions and they make them in. And you don't want people thinking that they're not smart.
It's not important.
It's just so sad how it like it's cyclical, right? Because there's times in society which are like, when it's really celebrated to be educated and it's really celebrated to like be scientific, and then it'll come in a wave of like anti-intellectualism, and like every 50 years or whatever, it's like this cycle of like. And right now we're really in a time. So that's definitely not helpful. Sorry about like this long tangent. Just like.
I think that's the great thing. I was in the environmental studies, having a faculty handout, and the library
Is in the same faculty.
I guess I never really connected that you guys would also be looking at how climate change. Like we would be, so I found that really interesting how libraries can become
Yeah, absolutely. But then there's a huge focus on it, like relying on it for sure. The future of libraries is looking bright if we can get the funding. So it's actually a 2-year program, but it's on a part-time basis. So I'm doing it over like 5 years. So I have 2 more years left. But it's been amazing. Like I absolutely love it. God forbid people take a commercial flight.
Yeah, well, like you just trains in Europe.
Well, yeah, that's yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And we're back.
Okay, everybody, we're all set. Are we all set? We have 4 groups to report in the church itself and 2 on Zoom. Let's begin with Zoom. 1 Zoom.
We can
Oh,
go.
they're still coming back. Okay. Who'd like to
Okay.
report first from in the church here? Okay, thank you. Please come forward so the people.
Everybody else will have said it all. I'm sure there's a lot of similarity. Do we want to wait for the Zoom? Oh, it looks like they're all there. Okay. So what we got from our group discussion was a long list of feelings, which I'm sure are reflected by all of you. Hope, anger, terror, optimism, because of the groundswell that seems to be happening, feels like it's happening. Concern about misinformation and disinformation. A lot of people are just still in denial, but even those who are not in denial are putting out the wrong information, such as the carbon tax is going to cost us all. A hope that what's happening now is the dying gasp of those who are trying to keep us using oil and coal and all those things. Glad that we won't be here in 2100 or even 2050, but very concerned for our grandchildren. And we got a list of the things that really make a difference. You know, that the little things that we're all doing daily are such drops in the bucket, But if we could stop driving, stop flying, stop eating meat, etc., maybe we'd get there.
Thank you. Next. Okay, I'll go next. One person felt that she said she feels really badly, also nervous and very scared. On the other hand, the next person spoke and said she feels just acceptance. This is the way things are, accept it and get on with life. Another comment was someone feels more than pessimistic, if that's possible, but obviously it is possible. And hope was expressed especially for great-grandchildren, that there's hope that things will improve for them. Another person felt both up and down, one day feeling very up and optimistic, the next feeling down and pessimistic. And the final comment was a feeling of hope in people, that people have a great strength and they will find the answers eventually. That's my group. Wendy? Over here.
Yeah, so some similar themes. I'll start with the negative. Pessimistic, overwhelmed, frustrated, angry, don't feel hopeful, especially under capitalist worlds. How can we change this? Feel bad for the younger generations. But there were some signs of hope, I'd say. Renewable energy technologies. We talked about, trying to make little changes in our lives. That can be hopeful. One person cited a cool policy in the Netherlands that they are trying to stop private jets from landing in their country. So we were saying Donald Trump probably just won't land his jet there. And then we had a really interesting discussion on how community libraries can be a source of building community resilience and really tackling misinformation and anti-intellectualism around climate change. So that was a cool tangent we took about libraries.
Thank you. Is there a report from Zoom now?
Sure, I can go. So I had the pleasure in our group, we had Eleanor, Mary Ellen, Scott, and Heather. And we heard a lot of concern. Some folks were angry, some were not angry, but disappointed in the behavior in terms of a lack of accepting the truth or being willing to search for it. And also a bit of people talking a lot about wanting to make changes to help with the climate crisis, but nothing actually moving forward, nothing actually changing. So lack of action or apathy. And there was also a lot of talk about the connection with other cultures and their respect for nature. And wouldn't it be great if all the different peoples of the world could communicate that more and be more respectful to this planet that we need to live on. So I'll leave some time for James and his group, but overall good, really good discussion, and it was really a great idea. So thanks for the folks who put it together. I enjoyed facilitating. Go ahead, James.
You're muted, James, you're muted.
So there were three people in our group. The first participant indicated that she was terrified and devastated, felt shamed in not really being as well versed as she wished about some of the issues, felt that she could make a contribution perhaps on a local level, but the global picture was just beyond her realm of where she felt that she could make a difference. She wants to continue to feel active, but that there's so many things beyond her control. Second participant indicated that the planet is peaceful. Everything is best. Flowers, eating food. She loves peace. Listening to learn is important to her so she can be more and more involved, learning more English and continuing to participate again more and more as she can. The third participant indicated that there was a sense of urgency. She's thankful for the ability to learn as much as she can. She feels the need to remain healthy so that she can continue to participate. She enjoys Earth Day as a celebration and as a crucial way of exchanging information and engaging. Feels that children and grandchildren are the focus of the benefits of the continued climate participants' work. She wants to protect them, but that Zoom also is a way to connect with concerned citizens. There's a small percentage of people doing that, but that she's still optimistic when she is engaged in that way. She's concerned about the control of the big players, the corporate interests, the military establishment, and that there seems to be an intent to keep us in illusion, and that their vested interests seem to be able to control things. We have drifted through a lack of knowledge, that poverty and degradation of the planet have been the result. There's a need to work together across barriers, left and right, and a need to have a sense of common respect and dignity. It's like having a type of infanticization, not growing up, that whenever financial issues come to the fore, money is able to be siphoned off into the war effort and so on, but not toward the environmental effort, which should be our priority. So in summary, there was a need to dismantle the illusions that we seem to be forced to be living under, a need to build new coalitions across divides, whether they be left, right, political, or whatever, need to address systemic injustice and address in whatever way possible the scourge of war. And that was my group.
Thank you, and thanks to everybody, especially our facilitators. I know we have Margaret to come, but I just wanted to say thank you to everybody. Also, Margaret, for being a facilitator. I'll sit down now.
Thank you, Leslie. Our group weren't very big on expressing feelings. We did discuss some very negative aspects about the climate crisis, but the sort of the overall feeling perhaps was that in the long run, humans are going to survive, and that we have been genetically disposed from the very beginning to be overly cautious and to anticipate the worst that could happen, like the lion behind the bush. Those are the people who've survived. So we're genetically disposed to worry the most about the future. So that was one of our conclusions. Another was that the individual did feel despair about what was happening, but had found that if she got involved and was active to do what she could, that it did help her feel better, and that she needs to look more for good news in the media rather than just focusing on the negative reports that are out there. And I have a reading now to recover from all that. When despair for the world grows in me, and I wake in the night at the least sound in fear of what my life and my children's lives may be, I go and lie down where the wood drake rests in his beauty on the water, and the great heron feeds. I come into the peace of wild things who do not tax their lives with forethought of grief. I come into the presence of still water, and I feel above me the day-blind stars waiting with their light. For a time I rest in the grace of the world, and I am free. Words of Wendell Berry. And so in spite of everything, it is still a wonderful world. And Wendy will lead us in our final song, What a Wonderful World. Those words are on your order of service too.
This is when it becomes abundantly clear that I'm used to singing by myself. So if my timing throws you off, just come on in when you can. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue, clouds of white, bright blessed day, dark sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. That's one of the places I hear babies cry. I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're saying, here it is again, I love you. I hear babies cry. I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Good job.
And now I'll extinguish our chalice as we sing the closing version of our gathering song. First, I want to thank everyone who helped with this annual service in honor of the earth, especially the members of the Climate Crisis Team, Leslie, Wendy, Eleanor, the other facilitators, James and Troy and Marilyn, and of course, Jessica and Marie-Claude, especially Wendy and Riley too. Thank you so much for everything. Well, you're going to play right now. Okay. So the last closing song.
Wendy, help me sing. 1, 2, 3.
We have spent